Pfeiffer, Pam Van Hook, and Toby Benz. Others present were Andy Emmert, Murray Dixon, Robin Cook, Aaron Cole, Peggy Jackson, and Kristen McCarty. The minutes from our previous meetings, March 10th regular session, was read and approved. Also, our March 24th executive session meeting minutes were read and approved. Under the water, wastewater, and streets, Andy gave his report. Also, Andy's report for building commissioner. Under code enforcement, Murray Dixon gave his report, and Robin gave her clerk treasurer report. And Mr. Farley signed off on the cancellation of outstanding warrants as part of that report. Under old business, regarding the Northern Hamilton County Trail, Peggy Jackson, CFO for Hamilton Heights School Corporation, attended the meeting to discuss this proposed bike trail, which will run from Noblesville to Atlanta. The county has agreed to partner with Atlanta, Arcadia, Cicero, and Hamilton Heights on this project. In order to apply for construction grants, a master plan would need to be in place. The county has asked that each entity pay for a portion of this study based on the length of the trail for each community. Atlanta's portion would be $2,100 to $3,400. The council had questions regarding cost once construction work began. The matter was tabled until the next regular scheduled meeting. Mrs. Jackson will contact Tina Henderson and will be able to answer these questions at that time. Mrs. Jackson also reported on project vision and reconfiguration for the Hamilton Heights School Corporation. Under the wastewater project, in-house construction of the building at the wastewater plant, Mr. Emmert reported that contrary to what Mr. Schubert from Triad Associates told the town, Grant Administrator Amy Miller believes that the town will not be able to take this building out of the grant project, nor will the town be able to construct the building in-house. She is looking into the matter, and more information will be forthcoming. Under new business, there was a citizen concern regarding a water leak. Christina Iron and her father, John Iron, attended the meeting in an effort to resolve an ongoing issue of water leak at their residence. They are of the opinion that they have a water leak in their line in the yard, and that it is the fault of the town, as the meter was moved when the radio read meter was installed. It was explained to them that after 4 audits of the meter, there is an intermittent leak, and that a leak in a water line would be continuous. After a lengthy debate, Mr. Emmert said he would dig up the meter in the morning and put the matter to rest once and for all. There was no further minutes. I hear a motion that these are approved. I make a motion to accept. I hear a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to our reports this evening. Andy, we'll give your report.
Under water, the plant treated 1,058,510 gallons of water since March 24th. Our average daily usage is down to 50,405. Filters were backwash on April 13th. The March water report is complete and has been sent to IDEM. We had one water leak that's been repaired. It's in conjunction with the work the phone company was doing. We installed one new service and one water main tap. The March back T-test is complete. I've had 43 locate tickets since our last meeting and received an additional 38 today in connection with this project. And then, I didn't put this in my report, but the water leak at the house at 640 South Central, we dug that up and there was no leak. small leak going. I think they also discovered they may have had an issue with their washing machine, I'm not sure. He was gonna look at that and call me back, and he hasn't contacted me back since. So, the issue is definitely on them, and it was not associated with the repair that we made.
Did they cover up that hole?
I don't know.
Okay.
I knew they were having the plumber come out to look at them, because the plumber, they paid the plumber 3 different times to be there. The plumber stated that it was from us, and, I advised him he ought to show them they're wrong. It wasn't. So, I'm not sure. He hasn't had any contact with me since, so I'm not sure what they worked out. Your wastewater been performing daily checks at the lift station, ponds, and the SSO during rain events. Sewer plant's open, and we're currently discharging. Our weekly sewer samples are complete. We repaired 1 sewer line. The March wastewater report's complete. It's been sent to IDEM. And then on the building, I've since had a meeting with you, but just for everyone here. Amy talked with the state about us taking that building out. They rejected that, which we discussed in our meeting. And on that note, I did revise the sewer plant building plans, basically moving those doors and a few other things that we talked about. I met with Triad on that. They're working on making the revisions. And the price to brick it, I don't have the actual form with me. Tom, the attachment didn't come through on the email, but I can tell you the additional brick, and this is with the credit from the siding, it's going to be another $11,100 if we were going to brick it. And that is getting a credit. I don't know what the credit is for the fiber cement siding, or what the total bill is, because I didn't get that attachment. I sent him an email back asking him to either send it or fax it to us, but it'll be another $11,100 on top of the $77 if we brick it. And I don't know back yet. We should get, I don't know how much, but we should get some sort of credit back for the doors that we eliminated, those areas. But, the siding credit's in there on that $11,000. I just don't know what that credit is until we get it. I mean, if it's $5,000 and they're saying the brick is 16, I don't know what that number is for that adjustment yet. Throwing 11,000 on top of 77, and that'll get brick. It'll make it a brick building. And when I get copies of that, I'll let you know. Put it in your box when we actually get the proposed change order from the contractor. Now, I met with Miller Surveying today at the subdivision. They're doing some work for the new owners out there, and we've got some issues on the uncompleted sewer. And we're going to have to plug some of the areas of that sewer off until the work is completed. There was areas that were capped. They were stubbed out, but they're on the system, and it was stubbed out to continue on. But whatever it's capped with is leaking, and I have to go check another one he told me about on the far south end. But on the north end, we've got dirt washing into the system. So whether they covered the end of the pipe with something's happened to whatever's capping that pipe. I don't know what it is, but we're going to have to get some mechanical plugs, and they're probably going to be in the $250 to $300 range. I mean, we'll be able to reuse them later at another time, but we got to stop that dirt from coming into the sanitary sewer system, and the one's bad enough. I'm going to have fluid waste out to clean our effluent channel out. I've been trying to hold off on it until they're here, because they've come up and started root cutting and jetting some of the lines that are going to be lined on the project. And I'd like to get them, we got the jet back here, but we got a line out there on Michael Drive. I know that thing's going to have to be cleaned. I was shocked as to how much dirt was in the flow line of the pipe coming through that thing. As much dirt as I saw in there, I can't believe there hadn't been a sinkhole out in the field yet. And I didn't have a lot of time to look for it today. I was going to go back and look at it a little bit more, maybe tomorrow or the next day. for 500 pounds. That'll be for the entire season. And then their streets, I entered the 2015 salt bid for 75 tons of treated road salt with the state again. And then just a note for everybody, we're not taking any yard waste, limbs, debris at the water plant. There have been people driving out there and dumping stuff out behind the water plant. And I put up a no trespassing sign on the drive, so hopefully it'll stop. Then under just miscellaneous things, the new Christmas lights are in, they've been delivered, and then we have one stray dog, and the owner was located and the dog was returned. Under building, we've issued 2 building permits, March census reports complete, it's been sent in. Had 2 inspections, 3 building permit inquiries, 1 zoning inquiry, and then 1 inquiry on our floodplain. People that have a property out east of town. If you have any questions, that's all I have.
We'll move on then. Murray's absent this evening, so does anyone have anything in regards to code enforcement? Any questions or concerns? Robin, do you have anything to report tonight?
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll move on to old business this evening. Peggy Jackson and Tina Henderson here with us tonight. And this time we're going to have them come and address us on the Northern Hamilton County Trail.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
I'm here tonight to really talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm not here as Mendenhall and Associates from Arcadia as a grant writer. I'm basically here. I'm not under contract with the county or with the school. I'm here as just a business owner, a resident of Northern Hamilton County that believes this trail that's been talked about, it's really not my idea. It's been documented for 20-some years. There's been talk about the railroad. There's been talk about going down 19 for years. And so I guess I'm here, and we've started in January, so I won't go through that history because I know Peggy and Robin covered that. We started in January talking about this trail, and we did contact, I don't know if they said this, the Hoosier Port Authority. And Neil, who sits on this board as well, said that Hoosier Port Authority will not give us a right-of-way to go down the railroad. I'm not sure if this plan will look at that route again. It very well could. Right now, the route they're looking at is more or less like a streetscape trail along 19. And I wanted to present a better map to kind of give you a visual of where are all the trails in Hamilton County that we'll be able to connect to if and when this happens. I'm going to... Thank you. Down, here you go. You're going to basically take a look at that map, and it's going to start out at the County Line Road, and you're going to travel south down to 234th Street, and that's the road that takes you straight out to Katawee. And then it's going to go to Cumberland. On the MPO map that I had in the PowerPoint presentation, it showed us basically going east on that river road, but we're going to go left, and it'll connect into Potter's Bridge, which makes more sense than the MPO map that was provided. So we want to make sure that, I want to make sure that you can see a visual of the trails that are available. And then the red lines on there are existing trails that are already up and running. And then you had a question, and basically you wanted to know how much per mile. Per mile, it's 400 estimated, 450,000 to 500,000 per mile. Brad Davis from the county said it could go up considerably if we need retaining walls, significant ADA accommodations, extensive grading, culvert placements, etc. Additional costs would also include engineering fees land acquisition. And I'll go ahead and, I brought a copy for Robin so that she could see that. I know the other question you had was about maintenance. And really and truly, maintenance right now will be looked at in the plan. So there's not, for 20 years this trail's been talked about, but there's not been a lot of planning. Does that make sense? Because there's been a lot of, we can't do this, or this isn't possible. What I'm asking is that we vision for the future so that when funding is available, for example, if the plan would have been done by the time stimulus hit, these trails would have been, and I could have never predicted, and they would have never predicted 20 years ago when they started talking about this, that stimulus would have hit and could have wiped out a good portion of that trail. So with that, though, Charlie Camry's talked about some DNR grants that are available. There's some grants around the river that's available. There's NDOT, but for Atlanta, you would be able to access NDOT funds and the Metropolitan Planning Area funds. So you have two sources of funds, agencies you can approach for funding. For Arcadia and Cicero, they only have the MPO because they're involved strictly in the MPO. And 2 years ago, basically NDOT said if you're involved in an MPO and you're in this fabulous map that where the line draws around the community, if you're inside that area for Indianapolis, then you're in the MPO and you have to apply for your funding through the MPO. Atlanta, you have the option, which is a great situation to apply through both. So, again, the level of commitment is $2,100 to $3,400. We're looking at $40,000 to $65,000, depending on the level of the plan. And we're basically asking for the council to approve that local match. And then our next step is to go to Arcadia, on to Cicero. It passed on Monday at the county commissioner level for their portion, and the county commissioners are sending it on to the council. So I also brought some information for you to go sleep with, but I travel in the north section quite a bit for the brownfields projects that I work on, and I get to see communities like Goshen that are building trails. A community close by is Lawrenceburg, and then one community that I really have admired over the last 3 to 4 years is Valparaiso. This is their website, and they have just simple community things that any community could actually do. They have Fit Fridays, where you could actually have a dance party in the park, youth fitness, yoga, anyways. Neighborhood walking routes that they've identified. There's some good stuff in here that if you would be interested in looking at that. What else? Any questions?
I was wondering here, 256th Street and 19, it seems like this new trail from Cicero to Atlanta is parallel 19. But between Cicero and Arcadia is it veers to the east there. Is that private property there?
And I apologize, I was all messed up.
I think it's is this private property? Is that the reason why, or is it just? I just wonder why this offset was so much.
We're following 19.
Yes.
19.
Okay, so.
And this is the track that, it's not a great map, but this is the railroad track, and this is the railroad right-of-way that's been talked about
Okay, I'm looking at that.
for quite some time.
I
But
see.
we all know the Hoosier Port Authority.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
When you're leaving Arcadia, you'll...
So, I ask for your support. I ask for your vision for the future. I ask for your participation, not for my benefit, but for your residents, for your children to be able and your families to access trails, for tourists to come to your community. I think it's I mean, I could go on and on and on about the benefits of trails. They're huge. The Monon Trail is now landed in Sheridan. So basically, this northern half is virtually untapped, unplanned, and I don't know, I believe it's time for us to start it. Whether I'm the right person or whether we have the right group could all be debated, but I think someone has to stand, so don't shoot the messenger. How are you?
So my question was it 2 years ago we okayed to have the bicycle trail go through on 19, and why can't it coincide with each other?
The bike routes with the walking trail?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The plan will also include, there's a bike route that's been identified down along 19. And so it will study, the plan, the engineer will study biking for safer biking routes. I'm sure many of you have witnessed the kids, the handicapped wheelchairs along 19, the bikes going up and down. We did have an accident. There's bikeway funding as well. That was very unfortunate, and that I think will also speak volumes to a funding agency when you go to apply for funding for bike routes. And I think it's supportive that it's been identified as a bike route. So, basically what we need is a plan. That plan is going to help us launch into construction. It's not going to happen overnight. I wish I could say, yeah, we're going to do this, and in 2 years, your kids and my kids or your grandkids are going to be walking on this trail. This is going to be a long process. This could be a 20-year plan. This could be something that happens, we do a little bit at a time. But what's important is that the school system connects our communities together. This trail will connect us together, and I think together you'll find that we'll all be stronger in saving our small towns. And I believe that we have a lot to offer, that if we could access these trails and construct them, tourism would come in. I could go on and on. I know you're busy. I can take up too much time. But this is I love rural communities, and hopefully you see my passion. And I'll turn the floor over to any more questions from the board or the community. We've not done a lot of planning, so the plan is to actually answer our questions that we're going to have this evening. If I had the plan completed, I could be more comprehensive, but
I got a question. What can the community do to help?
once the board approves to move forward, right now we've had a small group of individuals interested in the trail. Then once we have the communities that want to participate, the engineer will be in charge of setting up groups in the communities. What's really exciting about that for me, and as I know funding, I think there's a 5-year park master plan. It's a planning grant. Sheridan is currently going through that, where you could set up a park board and create a 5-year park master plan and plan not only your trails down to 19, but how is the town going to connect to those trails? What's the best route to connect to those trails on 19? So that you can plan your route and maybe set up a board, or maybe it's something during the planning of this trail. Arcadia and Atlanta might want to hook together with their Parks Department and create a stronger board in their Parks Department and go after a park master plan. So, there's a lot of possibilities, but to answer your question, there's going to be groups identified, people. So if you know anyone interested in the park, interested in creating trails, I'd go ahead and start thinking about that. That would be your next task. So that as we hit each community, and once we have all the approvals and the engineers on board, then I could hand him a list of names to start contacting for a meeting. And then there will be public meetings all along the way throughout the plan.
Any other questions this evening? So basically, you're wanting a commitment from us for the initial planning. understanding this correctly.
Correct.
And that's what you estimate between $2,000 and $3,000, correct?
2,100 to not exceed 3,400.
What's your feeling as a council? Is this something that we want to participate in?
Sounds good, but we'd be able to squeeze it out of our budget.
We will take that out of festival. I think it would be, we need to be a team player with the whole county.
Yeah, we do.
We can come up with it.
I agree.
Do I hear a motion then that we proceed with this?
I'll make a motion that we proceed with this
I'll second.
request for the
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, next order of old business, the Atlanta Youth League. There's been some conversation in the past meetings about
Thank you, ladies.
the Atlanta Youth League.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Their inactivity the last couple of years. I did meet with the president, I guess former president of the Youth League, and they have turned over the facility to the town of Atlanta. So, that was done last night. I can read this document to you, to whom it may concern. This letter is to inform you that as of August 2014, due to the lack of board members and interest, the Atlanta Youth League has dissolved. The property at 795 South Central Street in Atlanta, Indiana, has been given to the town of Atlanta to do so as they please. Sincerely, Josh Klima, former Atlanta Youth League president. So, I guess I'll ask for a motion tonight to we accept this.
Yeah, I make a motion that we accept the
Facility.
facility back.
Okay, no further.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions or comments? Looks like we got a couple. Roberta?
Are you going to maintain it as a baseball field? I mean, you're not going to come out dooping, just in case, comes back around and gets recycled.
Basically, I think what our intent is, and we haven't talked much about this, but now would probably be a good time to do that. Obviously, the town of Atlanta will take possession of the property. And I don't know, I think it would be our intent that baseball be played there. But I don't know in the future if the town would ever give that back. I mean, I think the town ought to be the owner of that property from here forward. And then if a league comes back up, an organization, maybe enter into a lease with them, maybe a simple $1 a year or something, to where the town will always have that property. And it can be basically maintained in the event that this would happen again. I don't know, that's just a thought that we had. I haven't read a copy of the original bylaws. I know we have a copy here on file somewhere, but we get to look that over. And also, I would like to seek legal counsel on what would be the best way to proceed with this transaction.
Yeah, you have to change title of the
Yes.
property over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
A
Anita?
few questions. I want to make sure that the insurance is paid on it. I don't know if it's lapsed or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that electricity is paid down there, because if that light goes out, we're just asking for more trouble. And I will tell you that I was talking to a gentleman from Cicero on Saturday that, I don't know if he's their league president or what, but anyway, he showed showed a lot of interest in adding Atlanta back in.
Great.
And, of course, he said it's probably too late this year, but he was very interested to think that maybe something was going to be done. So I don't think we're dead in the water, and I think we can do something, so.
You know, I know my hopes personally is that this is something that can continue and be the success that it once was. I mean, that was a real strong organization at one time, a beautiful facility, probably the nicest one of the three of Arcadia and Cicero and us, and so hopefully this will turn out to be a positive in the future. All of this transpired last evening, so it's still fresh with us. So there's some things, as you said, Neela, you know, we'll get that on the town's insurance rolls, and once the utilities are switched over, you know, it'll just go right along with.
What about keeping the big trucks and stuff out of there, if they haven't already damaged the sewer line?
We'll look at that. We have an opportunity right now with all of the construction work going on in town, with all the underground, to possibly rent that parking spot to generate some instant revenue.
Better do the south end.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, most of their stuff is smaller stuff, and I know
Yeah, the telephone company.
currently they're paying a property owner out west of town $400 a month rent, and they would much rather be here in town. So that may be a way that we can generate some money,
Keep them on the south end.
and so
It would be on the north end.
The north end is where the drain's only like, deep.
Well, actually, it's on the south end that goes toward the building. That it
they'll,
is.
Part of it's been replaced already, because it hasn't been, it's thin wall, it's smashed out.
but as I said, hopefully this is a positive step. I was encouraged. Sad that the youth league is no more, but hopefully with the interest that's been shown.
Cicero shown an interest in joining, and Atlanta could get in with them, and we could get enough kids to participate down here. I think that was some of the problem, and I also think that some of the people on board didn't want to join in with Atlanta or Arcadia and Cicero as a group. They wanted to stay independent. And I think that hurt Atlanta because we don't have enough kids down here to actually field the teams and stuff here. Kids get involved, and with that, going with Atlanta and Arcadia and Cicero, all three, I think that'd be enough to get this filled back in play for the leagues. Like I say, it's definitely too late this year. They signed up in the middle of winter for, summer, so it's too late to get anything going. And of course, there's so much work on the diamonds and the fields that need done anyway, so it's going to take some work, volunteers.
Yeah, we appreciate anything that anyone can do down there, I know, Neela, you've gone down and picked up trash already.
I think we just need to show some pride in Atlanta.
Exactly.
Slipping away from us.
Exactly.
Build the reputation back up. We were actually attracting kids
Yeah.
at one point from other towns.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of whole went the other direction.
I know, Rick, you have ran a adult league in the past. Is that a possibility even?
Yeah,
Thing?
possibly more August.
Yeah.
The summer, everybody's in summer softball or spring softball now, so they're already signed up somewhere where they're at. So usually that took place in the fall.
Okay.
And Sunday afternoon attracted people that couldn't play during
Okay.
the week.
Uh-huh.
It might be a chance to get a tournament up there, raise do a fundraiser, I guess.
Okay.
Now the softball thing was always kind of, I paid so much to use the fields, and I mowed the fields. I usually paid them $500 or $600, but I always maintained the fields the rest of the year. So coming into spring, they weren't covered with crabgrass. They were mowed, weeds were kept down. So I don't know. I don't know if you've looked around to see what's there and what's not there as far as mower, drags.
Yeah.
I noticed the left out, they may be trash. That batting cage, we always put the screen up every fall,
Yeah,
got it
that's
every spring, it's probably rotten. I don't know what that storage building, Kevin said that it was just taken. They tore it down. Did
They
they tear
tore
it
it
down?
down.
Yeah, they scrapped it. I don't even think they did that. I think they like shoved it in the dumpster over about a 3-week period. Yeah. When there still used to be a dumpster out there. Somebody said something about a fence. I've always thought that'd be a good idea, even if it's just a cable with 4x4 posts every, whatever. Because there's a lot of, we've had people drive out on the field before and do donuts. Because you can get in one of those gates on the side. So, and I'm interested in helping whatever way I can.
Great, we appreciate that.
I know, I don't know what the insurance situation is. I know I got a call, maybe it was last year about that. My name was still on the insurance and they had canceled. So I don't know if they picked up more insurance or not.
And we'll have to, like I said, that'd be something that we'll have to investigate, obviously. Move on pretty fast now that, taking possession of it.
But if you think it meant softball would be okay, I'm still playing, so I can talk to some, I play at Noblesville, Kokomo, sometimes other places, so I can start talking to some of the teams.
Sure.
I think it's a tax form they have to file too, and I just wonder if that's been done.
They're defunct.
Yeah, I think
That's gone.
So do they have to pay taxes now?
Well, they would have to, but it's going to the town. The town will have to pay property taxes, but you should check on the state's website. Their organization's defunct. They didn't keep up with the Secretary of State. I know that I got a notice about a tax, not being paid property tax last year. And I brought that to Robin's attention. She told me why they got charged property tax because their status was defunct. And they said it was going up for sheriff's sale. So.
I don't know how fancy you want to get with fencing that in, but I'd donate a bunch of telephone poles that are rather large. If someone would want to bring a trailer, we'd donate them. They're at my farm, we probably have
You can make quite a few posts on it.
Okay.
maybe 20.
That's something
And
to
they're-
keep in mind.
You're not going to go through them.
Yeah, 14. Okay.
We can get them loaded on the trailer, someone can supply a heavy-duty trailer, and some of them are fairly long. But I think you could get a lot out of it.
That's good to know.
So, I also have a sewer plug. Don't ask me how. If you need it, I don't know what size your sewer lines are, but I do have one that's sitting in my barn. It's been sitting there for years.
Kind of, when we were out of it after our kids were too old to play, and we got back into it when Jeff Allwood was, Kevin Slaughterbeck and I got into it, and Jeff Allwood was running. Just to be aware, you might get bills. We received bills from the previous year for trophies, for uniforms. We went to get uniforms and other places. They told us, well, you had to pay for last year's, so you might be getting some stuff.
Hopefully that's already taken place since they didn't have the league last year, so maybe they've already received them or whatever, and they.
So, I don't know if you guys will be picking up the mail in their box now. The town will be.
Well, the league itself is defunct. Okay, it's no more.
Right.
The Atlanta Youth League is gone.
They don't have a box up at the post office anymore.
And I believe the bylaws, and like I said, I haven't read the bylaws, but I believe it states in there that in the event that would happen, that the property would revert to the town of Atlanta. So that's the point. That's where we're at. And like I said, we'll have to have the attorneys look this over.
But where's the light bill going?
I mentioned that last evening, and they said that it was running on their deposit.
Oh.
So I'm sure once that
Runs out.
runs out, then it will be disconnected. said, hopefully we can,
Get a meter number.
yeah, that shouldn't be an issue for us.
Robbie can call it in, yeah, we've only got
How many?
20.
I think 20 meters, probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
There may be somebody trying to find these people who supply the concession stand. I guess that really never was a town's, but it's good to go to the town, when you say back, it makes it, it wasn't really the town's to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts probably a poor choice of words.
But it does,
If they ever-
I'm just making the point that it never, this is the first time it's ever been in this position.
Alan?
I was like, I know a person that could mow that for you.
Yeah.
We have
You volunteered?
I've got a 13-year-old that would be in hog heaven to mow that. He would mow it twice a week just to mow. And he's pretty doggone good on a zero turn.
You know, you saying that, I kind of always wanted to caution people on zero turns not to go real fast and turn real sharp.
Yeah.
We had that one year and they ended up just chewing out the grass that you're trying to weed eat, fertilize, and maintain, so. If it's wet, they go fast.
And if the drag and stuff is not any good, I have all kinds of equipment that will let you guys use.
Appreciate that.
Give them something to do.
I have a history question about that. I don't know, Neela, if you can answer this or not. Was that ground originally donated or was it purchased?
It was purchased.
Okay.
It was purchased with yard sales and all kinds of it.
picking up limbs and.
Was that,
Cleaning up at the sports festival at Gibson.
was that from
No,
the
it
youth
was not.
center?
Used, yeah, we bought it from used.
Used, okay.
17.5?
Yep.
17.5.
Okay.
And he even bought a old, commercial road grader out of his own pocket
Okay.
to work that. No, there was nothing, very little of anything
Okay.
donated, only people.
Okay. What year was that? Do you remember?
No, 82. We started in 82. 82.
Okay.
You know, you had the shuttle, or we started the shuttle, and that's something you guys would be interested in. I wonder what happened to that.
Yeah.
It's the manpower again too, I think.
It's just people to drive it, people to collect the money, but
Good idea.
Okay.
it makes some money.
Mm-hmm.
And what was nice for us, when we had insurance, the same insurance as the town, it really made it easy for the insurance. They're covered wherever they're at, basically, because it's the same insurance company.
Any other questions or comments about the youth league? Okay, we'll move on to new business then. Adjustments. We have one this evening. Utility adjustment. For Blue Rose. Explain this to me.
Well, I talked to Andy and we went back and printed it before it was officially in Kay's name even. She was still being the one being responsible for the bill. And when we notified them, it would have been Lisa, because there was a leak. So all I did was, what you guys are looking at is, so her average was 4,700 gallons so when the leak started on September 1st bill, I just showed what her actual cost was for sewer, and what the average cost would have been, and what that difference is, so, I mean, Andy asked that I have like a history for you from when it started.
So I guess the
Adjusted amount would be the last column. At the bottom right.
Oh, come on.
okay.
Then the sewer side of it.
every month, it just got ridiculous.
It got higher and higher, yeah.
And it has been repaired.
Yeah, I was there. And verified it.
You guys work on Easter?
It was, yesterday, it was the water line between the pit building and I think, I don't know who the contractor was, but when they built that garage, they moved the meter pit over and they took the line out. Earth Excavating put the original line in from the meter to the building. And it was kind of weird because that line was about 4 feet in the ground and went under the foundation of the building. But because of where they built that garage, they moved it over and they didn't use a new line. They pulled the old line out that had originally been put in and they put it real shallow. I mean, there were spots, I don't know, 18 inches or so in the ground, and they wrapped the whole thing with insulation. I mean, I don't know why they just didn't bury it deeper, or I'd really just abandon the old line and run it to it. I'm sure somewhere in moving it or backfilling, there was damage to the pipe or a brick or rock or something, rubbed a hole in it. That's what just kept growing. But, wow. It was in that line.
Basically, we'll be crediting them for 2.5 well. And it's been repaired, correct?
Yeah, I verified it. I was there. I checked it when I put the meter back in.
Any questions or comments about this? Any others? No? Right, correct. Just
We've done this for the other, that's where we tested,
Yeah, we
it didn't go
have.
down the sewer, we didn't have to treat it, so I would dare make a motion for that.
Okay.
Go ahead and test it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I got a couple questions still, too, though, not just about that,
Yep.
about Fletcher's building,
Pardon me?
about the building to the west of me,
Okay.
the full Fletcher's building. The west side of that building is completely falling in, and there are cats, different animals going in and out of it. It's just really kind of, they finally got the dead bird out of the window that was in there for a year and a half, that customers were complaining about. And it's just disturbing. I've never seen him, I've never met him. The building is really falling apart with animals and things like that getting inside. I could crawl in through the hole in the wall. With that being said, my concern is, the issue with the water bill, and I'm trying to keep things up as much as I can with, I still haven't received a paycheck over there yet. It's still a huge struggle for me. I don't want anything else happening to that building that I'm in. I am trying to maintain it, keep it up to date, keep things from getting worse. My concern is with the bad roof, walls that are falling in, and it's attached to my building. What's going to happen? I know we've got it for sale, just no maintenance being done on it or anything like that. Nothing secure. The power line's still down and
There's no power in the building.
no, there's no power line, power to the building, but the power line, all that stuff's still hanging off the edge of the building. And
Yeah, I don't know, I have to give Fletcher an inspection as far as unsafe building ordinance goes and look at what's on there. I mean, the portion, that's the old kitchen in the back.
yeah,
Any issues with that portion of it, but
Sounds like.
I would have to review it. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, there's-
I don't want to say something off the top of my head without
Sure.
reviewing the ordinance first.
even on the north side, there's considerable rot happening. Where the bare wood, you can see where the wood's just gone. The other thing too I was going to bring up were the sidewalks. I know you don't have money in the budget to fix them, but can we get them shaved down? Where they're heaved? Just, I have customers tripping over. That's all.
promise you that we can do anything, but
They're just, some of them are heaved that much.
I know those are bad, I know the ones across the street are bad. That's why I went from the post office. I noticed those were heat or bad too, so.
I get a lot of older people that come in to the restaurant. Just a little bit of a safety issue.
That looks like it'd be a liability thing.
Mm-hmm.
On the city's part.
Look at that. Yeah, we can get a hold of Fletcher on that, Andy, and see if,
Yeah, I'll review the ordinance.
check the ordinance, and maybe if you need to see him, see if there's anything, any issues that are in violation of our ordinances or whatever. See if he can't get them addressed. Have him to work with him, see if he can't get the things taken care of.
Maybe I would just have some plywood over it to make it just a little neater and keep the critters out.
Yeah. See what we can do as far as getting Fletcher and review the ordinance.
Yeah.
And everything.
And
Talk
the
to him.
roof is not
I'll
doing
read.
good anymore either.
I'll read the ordinance.
On this.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
Anything else? Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, the next order of new business tonight is townwide yard sale date.
We can pick it up.
You can pick a day, I'll let you guys do that.
I'm not having a garage sale.
Anyone have a preferred date for townwide yard sale this spring?
It's usually the Saturday before Father's Day, but I don't care, just saying that's past history.
I heard someone mention Tipton's, do you know when
Well, we
Tipton's?
always had it after Tipton's had theirs, because if you had it the same weekend as theirs, then nobody comes here.
Yeah, okay. You know when theirs is?
Sometime in June.
That's Father's Day first.
Jennifer, when's Father's Day? My phone doesn't have it.
Can we wait and decide that next month? Or next
Yeah, we
week?
can table it till next meeting.
Guys, what is it? Yeah, we need to find out when Tiffin
Yeah.
does theirs.
Let's do that, let's table it till the next meeting, and we can do some investigating and figure out when Tipton's is.
Okay.
Okay.
We just had somebody ask us those things, so we thought we'd bring
All
it
right. Okay, I've got one more order of new business tonight. This is a letter regarding property at 415 South Railroad Street. I'll just read this to you. Dear board members, I'm writing this in regards to a large weed lien on the property located at 415 South Railroad Street. It is my understanding that the owners vacated the property after the tornado went through in 2012. It has been empty since that time and was finally maintained by the owner's relative. The house has not had power or water and is in desperate need of a roof along with various other repairs. My wife and I are currently in negotiations with the power of attorney over the property to purchase it as is. Our plan and business model is to get properties like this fixed up to their previous state and usually much better for resale to a qualified long-term owner who will maintain and keep it in a viable and attractive part of the town for years to come. All that being said, I believe the current dollar amounts on liens imposed by the town are approximately $3,250. This letter is to inquire if there would be a lesser but still fair amount that could be paid at closing to satisfy these liens and get the project rolling quicker. Please contact me at your earliest convenience to discuss or with any questions or concerns. I can be reached by email or phone most any time. Thank you in advance for your time and consideration. David E. Sharp of Sharp Concept Homes.
Can I comment?
Yes, you may.
We took care of that thing for 2 years before the tornado. So, when the tornado didn't have any, matter of fact, when the bushes, trees, all that stuff that was hanging out in the road. I mean, we've had damage to equipment on that property, and I think the town ought to get their investment back.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's more liens coming down the pike on that I didn't file yet.
Okay,
And for sanitary and storm,
okay,
about $800.
okay. Well, I feel like that, you know, these liens aren't excessive. I know you guys have taken care of that property for,
Until,
if you went by this date even, that's,
it was before,
Yeah,
see,
before
they
that.
have, yeah, and they have been taking care of it. It was kind of an unusual thing, involved bankruptcy, and another family member got the house. They approached us about it. They actually came down there one day when we were mowing it and trimming it, and I told them, you know, we don't want to be in the mowing business in the first place. Sure. You know, please do take care of it. But, I mean, that was one of those things where a bunch of notifications were sent out, the grass was getting, you know, tall, the neighbors were complaining, and that's what got us involved in the first place in cleaning the property up and maintaining it for over 2 years.
will he be in contact with you again, or is he expecting something?
I think he
From
probably
us, or-
wants me just to email him,
Okay.
he can get to me in an email.
Yeah, we can just email him, you know, those liens will remain at the same amount, so we can recoup some of our expenses maintaining that. Okay, any other new business this evening? All right, then, do I hear a motion that we sign the claims and adjourn the meeting?
I motion we sign the claims and adjourn the meeting.
Hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.